I'm Gus Wagner, as Natalie mentioned. I own a company called the Rocket Group up in Jefferson City. And we are a full-service marketing and communications firm, making words and pictures for our clients who work in the fields of politics, government, and business. We actually work with businesses, too. We do a lot of work in the advocacy field. Our tagline is we're launching success stories daily. And what that means is we want to help organizations like your alls and ACTS to take their message to larger audiences, better audiences for you for reaction, and better audiences for you for interaction. And if you are tweeting, which I know a couple of you are in the room, we're at Rocket Group. If you just search at Rocket Group on the internets, the Googles, you'll find all of our channels across social media and the web. And by the way, you're not going to hurt my feelings. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to have your tablets and phones and laptops. Anybody bring their PC? Nobody brought their PC? You're back in your room? Okay. If you, whatever you want to open up and look things up as we're discussing, we're going to have some live action, a little laboratory towards the end of this presentation that you can interact with. So who am I? Anybody look me up before you got down here? Thank you. One person. Two people. Are you the star student, Kara? Okay. Well, I have no prizes today. Yeah. Just praise. Just praise. So, I've been in business for the business world for 22 years. 13 of those years owning the Rocket Group. Before that, I was a sales marketing professional for a couple different manufacturing firms across the Midwest. Some of you may know me as my role the 8 years I spent at the Missouri State Senate as a chief of staff. Okay, they're flipping switches back there. If I go like this, it's because they hit the wrong one. All right. I was a chief of staff in the Missouri State Senate for Senator Dan Clemens out of Marshfield, Missouri, representing the good people of the Ozarks. Anybody yet from Greene, Christian, Webster, or Douglas counties? All right. Very good. I hope I did okay by you. Okay. I've always been involved in my community, whether that's been involved in charitable efforts, civic efforts, of course, political efforts, government efforts, etc. Always been involved in the community no matter where I've lived across Missouri. Actually, I've never lived outside of the great borders of Missouri. Traveled around the world, though. And what's very important for today is I'm a 5-time certified social media strategist. I know. How about that? What that means is, yes. They were 5 different tests over 5 different years, actually. So, anyway, good question. Nobody's ever asked me that one before. There you go. I've made the investment in myself, my company, my clients, my prospects, etc., to stay on top of the ever-changing world of social media. This stuff changes every day. As a matter of fact, in the last 5 days, we've had several severe changes that are going to dramatically impact your success across, well, Facebook for the most part, but across the other channels as well. This stuff changes every day. It's a very young infant industry. Most of the platforms are less than 10 years old. And they're all competing for the eyeballs and earballs and fingertips of all of us out here who are plugged into our phones and tablets and other devices 24 hours a day. So, and they all need to make money because most of them are all public now. So that's why I try to stay on top of social media. And that's why it's important that myself and everybody here in this room is ready to work and ready to take the things we talk about today and put them to real world usage. Because something you may learn here today might be out of date by the time you get home. That's how quick some of these things change. So, but the basic tenets, the basic principles of advocacy and communication, those principles don't really change. Dealing with people, dealing with the media, dealing with different channels, how to word things, what picture goes with what, those things don't really change. So we've got to learn to use these modern forms of communications and our traditional forms of communication to most effectively reach the audiences that we truly need to reach. Okay? So who's ready to go to work? All right, there you go. There you go. By the way, we are videoing this, so applause is appreciated. And we will be sending you links to the slides and the videos shortly after this conference is over. So today what we're going to talk about is questions, answers, and fun. If you've got questions as we go through this, if something something maybe you've got experience with, or maybe something sounds like a load of crap, throw up your hand, shout my name. Don't be shy here, table right in front of me. And call me out, ask that question, whatever you need to do, and we'll have a discussion. I'm going to try to give you the answers to as many of the questions as I can. If I don't have the answer, or don't know the answer, or I need more information to give you, I'll follow up with you after the event. And there's a little asterisk there on fun. Some of you may not get all of my humor, but I'll try to entertain you as much as possible, which leads to this next slide, is that my role and my goal here is to educate, inform, and entertain you. And that is a goal that everybody should be using in their communication strategies, no matter what the platform. You want to educate your audience of the important things, the important changes, the important impacts that are going on with the issues that you all deal with, sometimes very delicate issues that you all deal with. You want to inform your audiences of opportunities for them to get involved, opportunities for them to share information, opportunities for them to help the people in their lives that maybe your organizations can help with across the state. And every chance you get, especially, as we mentioned, some of the delicate topics that you all deal with, it's okay to try to entertain your audiences once in a while as well, to tweet with a smile, to show a little personality, to show behind the scenes, entertain your audiences, because think about how the communication that you interact with, be it the local nightly news or your Facebook news feed of your own, it's the entertaining stuff that's going to raise to the top. So, I'm not big on bullet points. This is one of the few bullet point slides that we'll have throughout this presentation. I'd like to hear the sound of my own voice rather than read things to you. And I hope you all agree. All right. So bullet points. Here's what we're going to be covering today. We're going to have 3 different sections today. We do have 2 breaks scheduled, but if you do need to get up and stretch your legs while I'm talking, again, you're not going to hurt my feelings. We're having a conversation here, guys. We're going to talk about advocacy in the digital age. We're going to be talking about incorporating your message and developing your message and implementing that into your marketing. We're going to be talking about the technology and the outlets that are available to you to either use to greater ability or to put them to work to enhance what you're already doing. We're going to be talking about concrete examples of what to do and what not to do. Some of them from this very room. What? And we'll be calling some volunteers as we go throughout these presentations as well. And we're going to do a little role playing as well, as long as the internet signal is strong enough for us to do so. Okay, you guys ready? All right. So throughout my almost 3 decades now of working in the public and the government and the political worlds, I've learned that no matter if it's an idea, in business world as well, an idea, a product, a person, a philosophy, what have you, that getting that message to the audiences that need to hear it, to the audiences, be they paying customers, be they registered voters, be they families who are impacted by the issues that you all are dealing with on a daily basis, the longest journey to get them to buy into that message and get that activation of them to action is from the head to the heart. And when I say that is, there's usually 2 types, we're all different. But generally, there's 2 different types of audiences we're dealing with. It's the pragmatic head-first thinkers, and then it's the emotional heart-first thinkers. And dealing with the sensitive topics that you all sometimes deal with, you're dealing with both these folks, and maybe a mixture of these folks, or maybe some outliers out here outside of those 2 categories. But for the most part, we're dealing with heads and hearts. And if you can convince a head person to be impacted by their heart, to carry that journey from their head to their heart, or a hurt person to make the reverse journey, you've got a convert. You've got somebody who's going to support you and advocate for you, write a check to you, vote for you, buy your widget. So it's a very long journey from the head to the heart. Who's experienced that in real life, huh? I see some nodding heads here, okay. You know what the second longest journey is? Is the 18 inches from the head of the heart to their butt. And what I mean by that is getting those pragmatic thinkers, those emotional thinkers, to get up off their chairs, to get up off their butts, and take some real-world action. They may support you 100% in everything that you're doing. They're going to vote for you come election day. They might go to the polls early and vote absentee just to do it. They're that dedicated to you to vote for you. But getting them out there to help advocate for your message, to help knock doors if you're running for office, to become a testimony, to offer testimonials about your product, your service, your ideas, your issues. That's the longer journey, the more difficult journey to get those, whether they're digital or personal relationships, what have you, to get those head and heart thinkers up out of their chairs and into the real world action. Because who here needs more hands on deck? Who here needs more volunteers? Who here needs more people touting the messages of what you're touting? All of us, including me. So if you guys want to steal this and pay it forward. So, head, hearts, and butts. So we've taken all this digital advocacy and my personal advocacy and my personal experiences and my professional experiences, and we've created a program called AstroNet Turf Roots. And that long term means that we're taking our net roots, our digital audiences, and creating grassroots organizations out of them, which are real world action organizations, real world action efforts. And we use the term AstroTurf because often in politics, in business sometimes as well, when you see a big rally for this, that, or the other, this happens a lot in candidate and issue elections. Who's here? Anybody from St. Louis here? Okay, so down at Keener Plaza, you'll see folks bust in because parking is limited downtown. So everybody meets at the mall, at the Dove, there at West County Center, and they go down to Keener Plaza, they all get off the bus. Well, what happens is your opponent shows up with a camera and takes pictures of all these people that they are going to allege are false grassroots, AstroTurf. You've hired them, you've paid them, you've done whatever, and they're there to hold your signs and tout your message. They're not actual grassroots. So we've taken the derisive term of false grassroots, combined it with our digital audiences, and we've come up with the term AstroNet Turf Roots. By the way, AstroTurf is a Missouri-born product. Did you know that? Oh, very good. In the mid-'60s, Monsanto developed it, first put to use in the Astrodome, hence the name AstroTurf, in Houston, Texas. And I'll keep using AstroNet Turf Roots until they sue me to make me stop. So moving those online audiences to real-world action. So this is very small print. If you can read what that white bar says, you're better off than me. But what it is, it's a series of links that somebody sent out about an issue. And they submitted editorials to all the papers in Missouri at one time. And many of the papers in Missouri ran them on the same day. So the opponent of this issue, it's an education issue, a K-12 issue that's referred to in these links, they built a list and said, oh, look, here's a copycat in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Here's one in the Star. Here's one in the Lake News Leader, the Springfield News Leader, on and on and on. It said, this is not true advocacy because this person has submitted this editorial everywhere. It's a shotgun approach, not a rifle approach. So copycat editorials are not going to work in the long run for you. What also doesn't work is newsjacking. Newsjacking is a term that if something's happening from a Super Bowl down to some personal tragedy at the very local level, maybe in your neighborhood, you coming out and saying, we supported the Patriots or the Rams or the Chiefs, whoever, all the way. By the way, Rams and Chiefs had a good day yesterday, right? Right. By the way, also, speaking of sports, this will be the second to last sports reference. Any Cardinals fans in the room? If you haven't heard, this happened while you were at lunch. We just traded Shelby Miller. He's now an Atlanta Brave, and we have Jason Hayward now. So, yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, so in this example here, if you can see what this says, this was a tweet that Coca-Cola sent out on Election Day. And it said, vote for your favorite, vote for Coca-Cola, and use the hashtag, I think this is from 13. Election Day was the hashtag they used. On Election Day and trying to gin up interest, saying, hey, look at us, don't forget Coca-Cola when you're going to the polls. I don't think this impacted Coca-Cola's sales one bit. It was just a thing to do. But if you do it at a personal level, at a local level, a very local level, especially with incidents that may happen within your sphere of work that you're doing here, you guys let me know where the lines are as far as sensitivity to the topics we're talking about with what you deal with, from the substance abuses to the suicide prevention to the other hard work that you guys are doing. You guys deal with it on a daily basis. You're at the lake. I don't know how deep you want to get into these issues. So you give me some feedback here. So if you were doing this, something terrible happened, say an underage drinking ring got busted in some local high school.